quick and easy practice of mindful movement to release tension from the body and from the mind together. Let's begin this lying down. So use something forward behind your head as usual. Find a broad, flat back, please. And position your feet nicely. Lay your arms somewhere at your sides, palms up. Lengthen the back of the neck. And we'll just lie in stillness for the first few minutes and fine-tune our awareness gently. So we could begin with an acknowledgement of our mind right now. A quiet acknowledgement of the action of the mind, the feel. So we can have mental tensions and repetitive thoughts resulting from that. And the first step to break any pattern, a repetitive pattern, is to pause and very quietly and calmly acknowledge the feeling of that activity. So quietly allow the stream of thoughts to be. And notice in the mind that there is often a buzz of anticipation, a small energy within you that sort of anticipates what's next and plans what to do, and acknowledge that buzz. Sense it without words. And if we want to establish a degree of mindfulness, we must be at rest in the body so that the body can be at rest on the floor. So let's begin by sensing weight, the weight of your head. Without any words really, the weight of your head as a feeling. And the weight of your hands, the feeling of your hands and their weight, and the weight of your arms and shoulders. Just acknowledging that there's a sense of weight there. And then the weight of your trunk, which presses down into your back and the floor, and all of the weight of the ribs and the lungs and organs and abdomen, spine all going down onto where the back meets the floor. So there's a sense of weight from the torso that you receive. And then sense the weight of your hip and pelvic structure. You know, the pelvis is quite a heavy bone structure, and its weight's going into the floor. And the more you acknowledge and sense that weight, the more the body has a permission to relax. And without any words, can you sense the weight of your legs and feet? And perhaps just to cast the net wider, can you allow your attention to just dilate and relax openly, sensing now the weight of your whole body, can you dilate and soften the mind in a way that the whole body comes in to feeling. And that will happen sooner or later. Your mind begins to integrate the information from the body as it softens, and the whole body is sensed or glimpsed as a heavy body, full of heaviness, full of softness, because what's below us, which is gravity, draws the heavy body down. And sensing the touch of this body to the floor, from the heels to the head, those contact points of touch on the floor, and with the floor is gravity pulling through each point from below. When you breathe out, the pull on each contact point shifts slightly. Can you sense the subtlety of that? And this heavy body is breathed, breath travels. Feel inside of the body to how the breath creates a fluid pressure exchange. It whirls and presses and shapes the inside of the heavy body and travels within it. Perhaps knowing that we're 70% fluid. That exchange of fluid is felt every in and out breath. Now for our first mindful movement. Can you straighten the left leg, please? Let the left foot tilt outward a little bit and relax. Can you take the right arm and place it on the floor closer to your head, sort of like a Y shape maybe. Let the hand curl and relax. And now relax the face. Open the mouth slightly so it can relax. Now we'll do a simple tilt of the knee and a pressing down of one foot. I'm going to tilt the right knee over toward the other knee slightly. So tilt the right knee over, leftward really, and begin to press the right foot into the floor, slowly, gradually, until your body rolls a bit more over onto the left side. Now contract your right buttock, draw it inward toward the pelvis bones. Right, you've got a pressure on one side of the body. Now turn your head to look toward your right arm and stretch your right wrist. Now there's our first position. So feel that in the muscles. And then we're going to roll back very slowly onto a flat back. 5, go down now slowly, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the knee comes up, the head turns up, and we're back where we started. So there's one cycle of movement. Now we want to try and make this a slow, continuous movement now. So let's begin. Tilt the knee, look toward the arm, press the foot down. When your body's rolled fully onto one side and you feel ready, clench the buttock on the right and stretch the right wrist. Good, and then release and go back as if you're pouring yourself back into the flat back position, the fluid's pouring down as you relax back and soften into a flat back with the head and the knee pointing up. Now make that a movement and do this several times. Now as you make the movement, work on steadying the pace so it's very smooth, very slow. And as you make that pace smooth out, feel the muscles change, feel them stretch and effort, and feel them relax as you pour back into the flat back position and soften. Now if you can track the feeling of the movement, and every now and then make some small changes, like for example, you could press the foot into the ground more, or tilt the knee more, or even stretch the arm, and create new feelings that you can then feel release as you pour yourself back into that starting position. And don't forget to remain, when you're tilted, clench the buttock, and then obviously release that and everything else when you're going back to the floor. So that's our first movement, very simple. Do one more please, but keep the pace slow. And just be absorbed with the feelings if you can. And then when you land on this one, let's just tilt the right knee outward toward the right side, so you're on the outside edge of the right foot, and relax that tilted right leg and slide the foot slowly forward to the bottom of the mat. Keep the leg soft and easy, and then extend the leg fully but very slowly, and then bring the arms to the side again so that the body's symmetrical. And keep the eyes closed for a quick body scan. Let your attention dilate again to sense and take in the feeling of the whole of that heavy body. And that will creep in bit by bit, that sense of the whole body. And this time particularly its shape. And feel the shape of the left side compared to the right side. If you have removed tension, one side will be flatter and bigger where the tension has been removed. So there are other differences or not. Good. Now, let's go into the other side. Bend the left leg. Bring the left arm up onto the floor and quite close to the head somewhere. Then tilt the left knee down toward the other leg and turn the head to the left and stretch the left wrist. Clench the buttock as you roll onto your right side. And then release. Pour yourself back. Take about 5 seconds. Don't count it, just go slow. And pour your body weight softly back into the starting position with the head and the knee pointing up and everything completely relaxed. Then we begin again. So now pressing down. Let's go at your own pace now. And remember to clench the left buttock and then release it and everything else as you're lowering back to the floor. Initially go for smoothness. That requires a gentle, receptive attention to get the speed constant and easy, and the tensioning of the buttock and the stretch of the wrist just right for you. And then you release and you release as you pour back into the start position. Face remains soft. Now for the last few repetitions, feel free to make changes. More foot pressure, less foot pressure.
more knee tilt or less knee tilt, more stretch of the wrist or even the arm, more turn of the head, whatever. Pick something and change it and explore new feelings of stretch and tension and new subtleties in the release back to softness in the flat back position. Don't begin any new cycle until the body is completely at rest before you tilt the knee. So wait and wait. When the body is totally soft at rest, tilt the knee and press the foot. Good. We'll make this the last one, but in no way speed it up. Keep the speed the same. Keep the face soft, please. Then tilt the knee out to the side. The left knee's tilted outward and on the edge of the left foot, slide the left foot down the mat. Keeping the leg all soft, very slowly extend the leg with the foot relaxed. Place the arms symmetrically at your side somewhere and conduct body scan. If you were out of balance before with the feeling of shape, is it different now? And how do you feel as you feel the floor with your back and your legs? Is that pleasant contact? Is the body coming to rest more easily now? Now bend the knees with the feet flat on the floor and lift the right arm into the air and hold the right arm above, or the right hand above the shoulder. Have a slight bend in the elbow and a loose bend in the wrist, fingers droop down. Give that shoulder blade on the right time to sink and find the ground. Gravity's pulling the right shoulder blade down as the arm rests. You'll feel more of a definite weight creep into that shoulder blade. So let's call this the rest position. Now this is a shoulder release, very nice one. We need to remember what rest for the right arm feels like and the pressure of the shoulder blade. Now, I want you to begin to straighten the right arm and then lift the right arm high as if you're reaching for the ceiling and the shoulder blade leaves the ground, the right one. Now twist the arm round in a spiral and draw the shoulder closer to the neck and feel the tension running from the fingers down into the shoulder and back. Now we're going to unwind that slowly. So unwind the arm and soften the hand and bend the elbow and lower the shoulder to the ground very slowly, at least 5 seconds. Very, very, very slowly until you're in the rested arm position and the shoulder blade's down, it's sunken. That's the rest point. Now do 3 or 4 more in your own time. So it's an extension of the arm, or reach up, reach for the ceiling, twist the arm, draw the shoulder blade into the neck, and then undo all that and slowly take 5 seconds or more to return to rest. Super slow motion, feeling how the muscles that were tight and twisted all sink and soften. And as you make your movement, notice if there's any little jumps or accelerations in the movement of the shoulder going down. If there are, those are held tensions. And you can smooth those jumps out by anticipating them coming and slowing down and going through them more consciously to smooth them. If you smooth even one little jump, you will take part of a held tension out of your shoulder. So if you find those jumps and accelerations, it's like finding gold. Those are tensions you carry all the time, and right now, if you go slow and you feel, you can do something about it with this movement. Good. Now make this the last one. And pause in the rested arm position. Take your time to get there. And move the elbow in a circle, the right elbow in a small circle, keeping the arm heavy, keeping the fingers droopy. And then pause that circle in its centre and feeling the gravity's pull on the right shoulder blade from below. The weight of the shoulder blade, the pull of gravity on it, sucking it down into the floor. Now keeping the arm almost limp and soft, lower that arm outwardly to the ground slowly, using the shoulder blade as a soft pivot to keep the arm nice and loose. Very slowly, and feel the sensations cascade through the arm and shoulder as you lower it down. Then the arm lies open and gently on the floor. Now bring your left arm to be the same position. And I just want you to do a body scan. I want you to feel the contact of the back of your shoulders on the floor, and the contact of your upper back in the floor, and the contact of your arms on the floor, and compare left and right. Good. Now bring the arms back to the sides and lift the left arm up into the air and adopt that rested arm position. And remember, let's take a few seconds to let the left shoulder blade sink and let gravity take it. Gravity pulls us from well below the floor, and it's relentless, and we just surrender the body to the pull on the shoulder blade. There's rested arm. Now we do our arm spirals, so lift the arm high and take the left shoulder blade off the floor and rotate the arm, and then squeeze the shoulder into the neck, and then we release and unwind. So unwind the arm softly and then lower that shoulder blade back to the ground ever so slowly. It lands incredibly slow until the shoulder blade is sunken and the arm is suspended softly. Then you begin again. Can you try a few of these and feel how this side is? You feel the contraction and spiraling of the muscles as you squeeze the shoulder in and turn the arm, and you feel all that release as you unwind it. Just try to be with the sensations and find that slowness that we need. Now, can you find a way of smoothing out any bumps? More awareness and a bit more slowness can help. You won't get them to go completely away probably, but you might get them smoothed slightly each time. You sort of know when they're coming. More quiet awareness is required to eliminate the bumps. Good. Now, do one more, but do not speed it up. Great. Now, bring both arms up into the air. Drop both shoulder blades relaxed into the ground. Relax the side ribs, relax the armpits, relax the cuff of the shoulders so everything's soft and sinks. Droopy fingers, bent elbows, a relaxed expression over the face and below the eyes particularly. Now, I'm going to keep the arms in this orientation, this soft bend and width, but slowly, in roughly 10 seconds actually, take the arms overhead toward the ground. Now don't rush this. As the arms tilt back and get to roughly halfway, softly open your rib skin and draw the armpits toward the arms softly. And then lengthen the abdomen softly and slowly. as you tilt back with the arms until the arms lie either on the ground, or for some of you will be close to the ground because your shoulders feel tight. Now, if your shoulders are tight, widen your arms until your arms can lie on the ground comfortably, and release the jaw, and release the eyes so they're soft but closed. And perhaps finding this position so slowly and softly might help the body to tune into the moment more. And I wonder if you've already started to notice that there's slightly more calmness in the system. Everything in our culture goes against calmness, but calmness is essential. It shapes how we feel and experience the world, and we can find that natural calmness behind the surface of any experience, including this one of lying on a floor, by allowing our awareness to just receive what's here. Now, to finish, we'll make one more mindful movement. So, we will roll the head first, left and right, very slowly. So roll the head to one side, roll the head to the other side. Keep the jaw loose as you roll and the eyes very soft. And simply feel the back of the head rolling on the surface. You might think your cranium is spherical and round. It's not. It's got bumps and contours and ridges all the way over it, and you can certainly feel them as you rotate the head. And if the jaw is slack, the neck will relax more. Now feel into the neck, inside of the neck. And if there are stretches or tight parts, don't go so far. This is not a stretch. Just touch the edge of the tightness and back out, keeping the jaw slack. Good. And then pause the head. Now do something similar with the knees. Rock the knees left and right. Don't take them all the way to the floor, simply halfway will do us to start. And notice the ridges on the back of the pelvic bones as they roll on the floor, and those shapes and contours. Make the movement very slow and easy. Sense the density of the thighs and their weight. Sense now into the top of the thighs. Imagine your way in there to the top of the thighs, into the hip sockets. And feel the hip sockets. Feel the hip sockets inside as if you imagined toward that area. And adjust your movement very finely and softly in a way that lubricates the hip sockets. What kind of movement, what attitude of movement, and what pace of movement would lubricate those hips? Soften the tummy. Soften the jaw. And make the movement so gentle that the hips receive goodness from it. If there's a nice pleasant feeling in the hips and back, you can slowly begin to extend your movement and add in the head. The head rolls the opposite way from the knees, but gently like before, not too far. We are not trying to stretch, we are trying to find gentleness of movement. that the body would appreciate. Good. Now pause with the knees pointing up and send your feet forward. So we've got long legs with the feet tilted out, and simply retune to the floor. You're on a floor. Does the floor feel different now? You touch the floor touching you. You're 70% fluid and you're heavy. Is the breath fluid? Is there a fluid feel within the body as you breathe anywhere? Go into that fluidity and imagine the floor is equally fluid as you are. Imagine a fluid floor and a fluid body merging, coming together, becoming more intimate in their fluidity. And notice if you have dissolved tension in the mind and in the body. Without words, how does this feel? And perhaps take this quietness of mind and this ease in the body into the remainder of your day, and notice how you move and feel. If it feels appropriate and you have time, you can lie here for a bit longer. Otherwise, that is the session over. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll see you again soon.